Hello! So welcome to this video of my collection. As you read from the title of this video, I'll be discussing about the audio CDs that I've collected over the times or still have when I was in my youth. What I'll do is that I'll be again showing these different CDs based off of different categories. I'm going to give a quick disclaimer. For some of these, I will not show the cover of these CD covers because I realized that some of them actually has some stickers and logos on it that contain personal information. Otherwise, I'm going to be going ahead and show my collection. Let me start off from what I like to call my parents' collection. So basically the reason how I got into music and the songs that caught me interested from these artists to begin with. So to start things off, this is from the ABBA Gold album. So as you can see here, this is their greatest hits. One of my all-time favorite is Dancing Queen from them. Here we have John Denver's greatest hits, with my favorite song from this is Country Roads, Take Me Home Country Roads. This one here is the John Lennon collection, with my favorite song from this album being Imagine. Here's the Carpenters, one of my favorites. I actually have a bunch of favorites from this one. Some including Top of the World, Superstar, Close to You, and Sing a Song, that one. And of course, coming from my parents, since they are both from the Philippines, they also have some Filipino tracks, with this one being called Mag Ocho Ocho Tayo Bayan. This is pretty funny, pretty nice as well. Catchy songs. For the Filipinos out there watching this, you might recognize who this man is. He was the host of Wow Wow Wee back in the day, and so I have the Wow Wow Willie album when my mom came back from her visit from the Philippines. Then I also have the Sex Bomb Girls from the Round 2 album, with my favorite song from this one being the Spaghetti Song. Here's Journey Revelation. This is my dad's favorite album, and I also enjoyed this one as well. And this one isn't really my parents' album, it's more like my brother's, because he was the one that was into it and then he got me into it. So this is Bruno Mars, Doo-Wops and Hooligans. Now I want to quickly transfer over to like my actual childhood CDs, the stuff that I've listened to as a kid along with my brother. And to start things off, here is the Disney Greatest Volume 1. It includes tracks in the back here. Let me put that over. If you can see, like Strangers Like Me from Tarzan, You Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story, you have Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians, and of course When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio. I know my little self is definitely enjoying this one at the moment. This is I Love to Sing with Barney. I was a huge fan of Barney back in the day when I was younger, before I got into Thomas the Tank Engine, and so I love singing all of these songs when I was younger. I could recall some of these at the moment as well, but I mean, you can't go wrong with the I Love You song. It brings back so much nostalgia. Here I have Pooh's Grand Adventure, music inspired from the movie, The Search for Christopher Robin. So all those tracks are in this CD right here. And now for these albums right here, I wouldn't say I necessarily had these as a childhood, but I ended up finding the albums for them and I took advantage of purchasing them as an adult just to relive my nostalgia. And I should say listen to my nostalgia. And one of them here is Arthur and Friends, the first Almost Real Not Live CD or tape. Of course, I have the CD version. And then looking at the back here, of course, it has a note from Arthur. It has all the different songs from the Arthur episodes, such as the iconic theme song by Ziggy Marley, as well as like other popular songs that you might come across, such as the Library Card song, Crazy Bus from DW, and all that fun stuff here. And then to follow that up, I also have Arthur's Perfect Christmas. So this has some songs from the episode Arthur's Perfect Christmas, as well as some other tunes that are also sung by Arthur and the gang. And this one's really cool because I actually haven't opened this yet. If you could still see like the plastic on all of this here. So this is Arthur's Really Rockin' Music Mix. So all of these are basically different songs from Arthur and the gang. My personal favorite here is just the remix of the theme song. Okay, to take a break, here are some albums that you might not recognize because these were from the church albums or the church that I belong to. One of them is called We Are INC for Life. Very inspirational songs here. And I also have this one right here. I'm not going to pronounce that because my Tagalog is really bad, or my Filipino. This is basically just called Intensive Propagation as it is titled in English right here. So again, more inspirational songs from my church. And if you want to take a listen to this, check out incmedia.org for more information. And now this part of the video I want to call the video game soundtracks. So any of the video games that I played back in the day, I have some of the soundtracks too, and you'll understand why. First one, this isn't actually mine, this is my brother's, but I absolutely enjoy the music that comes from this album. So this is none other than Sonic the Hedgehog, True Blue. From the back here, as you can see, there's the silhouette of Sonic, and it has songs like Live and Learn, His World, one of my absolute favorites, the Sonic Heroes song. We have the Sonic X theme when it was airing as a cartoon, quote-unquote cartoon. One of my favorite racing games of all times. I have Ridge Racer. This is the direct audio CD, as you can see here. And then in the back here, just lists some of the iconic tunes from the past Ridge Racer game. With my favorite absolutely being from the original Ridge Racer, literally just titled Ridge Racer. Disco Ball is also pretty good too. Take a listen, it's also on YouTube. This one, in my opinion, is the most weirdest and outrageous CD that I currently own in my collection. This is called Dengenki Bunko Fighting Climax Bonus Edition Soundtrack. I apologize if I butchered that. My Japanese isn't as great. So for those of you who don't know, this is a 2D fighting game based off of different characters. The IPs back here. Some of these feature stages from different Sega games, with one of the weirdest being Seaside B from Sonic the Hedgehog. None of the characters are part of the Sonic franchise, but it's published by Sega, so there you go. And then of course, one of my favorite dancing games of all times, my favorite rhythm game of all times, I should say, other than Hatsune Miku Project Diva, is the Dance Dance Revolution series. So right here, I have the DDR second mix. Let's see back here, these are the list of all the songs. Here is the third mix, right here. Flip to the back, here are the track lists of all the songs in the game. Here is the original soundtrack for DDR Extreme. And then back here are also the soundtracks that you can listen to. In current day, this is probably my favorite version of DDR-A, the original soundtrack, and it features all the songs listed in that arcade game, with my favorites, of course, being any of the Vocaloid songs. However, they're not in full, but I still love listening to them regardless. This one's also a really good one. So this is the DDR 20th Anniversary Non-Stop Mix by DJ Koo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right as well. These basically have different types of songs from DDR's history remixed into this amazing soundtrack of a CD. And right here, I have Dance Rush Stardom. So this is another dancing game from Konami that I also like to play in the arcades, other than Dance Dance Revolution. And then these are just some of the songs that are listed in the arcade game. Transitioning over to what I call anime slash Vocaloid, and you'll understand the reason why. This is Nekopara's OVA original soundtrack. To join along with that, I also have the Nekopara anime sound collection album right here. I know this isn't really an anime, but I wanted to include it here because it sort of feels like it. So this is If My Heart Had Wings. Again, from the video game collection video that I brought up, they released the soundtrack to go along with it too. And some of these tracks are very beautiful. They're a really good listen. If you want to take a listen, go for it. And then here are my Vocaloid CDs. So here is the one that I got from the Chicago trip back in 2016. This is the Miku Expo from 2016. This is the Miku Expo from 2018. And here's the Miku Expo 5th Anniversary Edition. And now for the final stretch, I want to call this childhood nostalgia. So these are albums that I bought in recent times to help relive my childhood. So you'll understand the reason why. First one that I want to pull up here, this is called Re-Wiggled. So as you can see here by the title, if you don't know, this is from the Wiggles. So basically, they have list tracks of different popular bands in Australia, I believe, and they are singing and covering the Wiggles songs, while the Wiggles cover popular songs that you would probably hear. Like one of my favorites that they sung was for the first track called Elephant. They did Rihanna's song Umbrella. They did Nathan Evans' The Wellerman, and they also did Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen. All of them are really good, honestly, but those were just my personal favorites. And then honestly, I think I saved the best for last because these collections here are definitely my favorites. So this is known as the Engines themes. None other by half of the musical composer from the original Thomas the Tank Engine TV show, Michael O'Donnell. So far, I have a collection of 6 of these different albums. So this is the first one. Here is the second one. Here is the third one. Here's the fourth one. Here's the fifth one. And lastly, here's the 6th one. So all of these come from Michael O'Donnell, one of my favorite composers of all times, and absolutely adored all of his music. What made it all the more cooler, especially that if you purchased it from his website, he actually gives a note that says best wishes, and from his own signature, Michael O'Donnell himself. And so this is something that I want to treasure forever as a humongous fan of Thomas and Friends, Thomas the Tank Engine per se. And yeah, these are basically all of my CD collections that I've accumulated over times. Well, some of these were my parents, but the later ones that I didn't have since childhood, those are the ones that I collected, and those are my absolute personal favorites to listen to. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I know it's a bit shorter than the rest, but give all of these a listen if you get a chance to. If you suggest any soundtrack or different album that you want me to listen to, I'd be down for it. These describe who I am as a person and why I collect these CDs in the first place. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to our videos. Thank you for joining me, and again, hope to catch you guys in the next video, and give me suggestions about my next video idea for me and or Caspen. We'll see what we can do about it. In the meantime, that's it from me. Bye guys. Peace.